Hey guys, this is Noah here with Learn Meta-Analysis, and I am super excited to be able to finally unveil this project and tell you guys about this project I've been working on. We are working on AI-assisted data extraction for systematic review and meta-analysis, and the best part is we have built an R package that is going to be able to help you do this same thing. And even better than that, it's all for free and it's all open source. Let's see how we can accelerate your data extraction process using large language models for free and still have a human in the loop. I'm gonna leave instructions down in the description on how you can actually get this software package. It's currently on GitHub, but I've made it very easy to install. I already have it installed on my computer, so I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to load the library and I'm going to go ahead and run it. Okay, so what you're gonna see is it is going to open up in a new tab for you, something just like so. I'm actually just gonna do a super quick overview here and we're gonna jump right into it because I'm sure if you're like me, you're a little bit impatient and just wanna see what the app can do and if it'll actually save you time. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on Setup. You can see for large language models, we can use Gemini, local models with OLLAMA, Mistral, or open router models. For now, I'm gonna use Gemini and just show you guys how this works. You can put in your API key. You can get that from AI Studio, and you can get this for free. I'll show you guys how to do that in a separate video. You can validate it and make sure it works. That's a good place to start. And we can see it is valid. Great. We can use Flash or Pro. I'm gonna use Flash for speed right now. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna click Save because we need to do that. Next, we can select our coding form. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab that. All right, and that opened up on my other screen, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm gonna select an Excel file that I have saved, and you can see it's going to say there's going to be a pop-up that comes up, and you need to confirm that that's the correct location. So for me, this showed up in my taskbar, but when I opened it up, it is once again on my other screen, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna click that same file. That tells the app where to save everything. When I move to the analysis page, I can see I can upload a PDF, but then it also read in my coding form automatically. This is all of the prompts that I currently have in my coding form or the things that I might want to actually code. So over here on the left, I'm gonna click Browse. I'm going to select the file that I want to actually analyze. It's gonna upload that. It's going to tell us about the context window, okay? So this is important when you're working with LLMs. It's not really important for what we're doing with Gemini right now, but in future videos, I'll talk about why this is important. I have listed the context size here of various models, and it tells you if it's within or not within the window. I'm gonna go ahead and hit close, and now we get to the fun part. You can see our paper shows up right here in a PDF reader on the screen, and we go ahead and click Analyze. And the magic happens. It's sending the request to the API, and this is all happening in real time, and it's already done, right? So over here, we can say list the authors in APA format. It's done that mostly correctly. We'd probably, if I was actually doing this, want to add the year. But so what do we do? I want to show you something really quickly. I am going to show you what my sheet looks like right now. This is what my Excel sheet looks like right now. Each one of these columns is just my prompt, and then under here is empty. And this is going to be important because we're going to record to this using this interface. So here, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to look at this. I'm going to say, what was your source? And it says page 1 of the PDF, and it's just listing the authors. So I'm going to say, okay, now I'm going to click record. Okay, so let's move on. We'll look at the second one. What is the main focus? It says pedagogical agents. Where did it get that? It got it from the title. That's good enough for me. I'm going to click record. So what kind of review is this? Reply with systematic review, meta-analysis, or narrative. Again, I'm going to ask where it got that, and it says the title explicitly states systematic review. Great, let's record that. What are the exclusion criteria? If we open this up, it lists 6 things. Now that's a little more complicated, so let's check its source here. We'll click that, and it says section 3.2. So if it jumped on the page to pretty close to where it is, we scroll down to section 3.2, and we can check and see the exclusion criteria. Studies were excluded if, and then it lists 6 of them, and I'm not going to go through them all right now, but I know these 6 are the same because I've done this about 1 million times now. All right, so next we go into things that are a little bit more complicated, right? So what are the implications for theory? So let's go ahead and hit the source here. It's going to say got it from section 6.1, so I'm going to scroll down to 6.1, implications for theory. It provides preliminary partial support for these things, and you can see where it got that information. So where this really empowers you as a researcher and saves you time. Number 1, the quick and easy things are generally pretty accurate from what I've tested so far. And it tells you where you got that information so you can double check it. So when you get to more in-depth things like this, it gives you a nice little summary, and you can go through and read the same section that it drew this conclusion from. And let's say you don't like this. Let's say you think this is wrong. Then what you can do is you can simply highlight it and say the answer is B. I'm just going to put that as a placeholder, and I'm going to record it, and I'm going to show you why I did that. And then last but not least, we have what are the implications for practice, and it says the implications for practice here, and if we click on source, it tells us where it got that information, and you can see it came from 6.2. Okay, so we're going to record that as well. Now, let's go back and revisit our coding form, because as you can see, we hit record on each one of these things. What does that do? Well, when I open this up, you can see that we now have information in the proper column for every single one except for the exclusion criteria where I forgot to hit the button. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit that now just so that you can see that does in fact work. When I hit record, it says it was recorded. Open this up and now it is there. So you can open that and see that's there. Let's go to the exclusion criteria, which is this one. And you can see the exclusion criteria are now here. So all of our information has been entered here from our coding form. So I'm going to close that. Now let's say we want to go to our next paper. All we got to do, click browse again, choose our paper. I'm actually going to choose the same one because I didn't download another paper to prepare for this. So the workflow will be the same. It's going to show you the token size, and then we're going to hit close, and it cleared all of this out. Okay, so I'm going to hit. I'm actually just going to type in answers this time instead of hitting analyze so that you can tell that it recorded different information in the coding form. Okay, so I'm just putting ASDF for everything. Record, 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 record. Last but not least, record. Now I'm going to open up that coding form again, and you can see it has recorded this new response on the correct line. So long story short, guys, this is an absolute game changer, I think, in terms of speed and efficiency when extracting data. One other question that I did actually get asked by people is what happens if you have more information there? Like what happens if your coding form is longer? So let me show you what happens when your coding form is longer. Once again, I'm just going to do the run AIDE command, and I'm going to reopen the app from scratch. I'm going to go to my setup, and I'm going to choose a different coding form that I have that has more prompts on it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab that. And then when I go to my analyze, I got to hit save. When I go to my analyze page, you can see that this one has 14 prompts. So if you want to compare the time that it takes to run this compared to the one that only had 6 prompts, we're going to do that right now. All right, so again, we're using Gemini Flash 1.5. We're going to go ahead and hit analyze. And as you'll see, this is still really fast. Like this is so much faster than if you actually were extracting all this data by hand. And look, it's all auto-filled for us. We can double check everything. The human is in the loop the entire time. And that's basically all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about the app. I am going to have so many more videos coming out on how to use the app more in depth, but I wanted to give you guys a quick sneak peek of what it is because I truly think this is going to be a game changer for how quickly we can extract data from PDFs for systematic review and meta-analysis processes. So if this is helpful content for you guys, please go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm going to have a whole playlist on how to use this app. I'm going to talk about how to get API keys for free. I'm going to talk about how to use local models with Ollama. I'm going to talk about how to use the app in general to make sure everything goes smoothly. And last but not least, of course, this is free and open source software that you can run directly in our studio. The information on where to go get it and the instructions on how to do so are linked in the description. Thank you guys. I hope you guys find this as exciting and as helpful as me. Please leave a comment if you think that there is anything useful here. If there's anything you'd love to see added, leave a comment as well, and I will try and circle back to it when I get the time. Thank you guys. I'm excited about this software, and I hope this is exciting to you too. Have a great afternoon.